turn into a blueberry chaffle waffle sandwich. We're going to be doing a chocolate cupcake chaffle recipe that I'm going to be turning into an Oreo sandwich. And I'm going to be testing a new product today. I actually found a new mini waffle maker at Walmart the other day, and I went ahead and bought that, so I have two to be able to do 2 batches at the same time. So we're going to work together on that and come check it out. Oh, and by the way, these recipes, all of them end up coming from Steve at Serious Keto. I did kind of tweak them a little bit, so I'll kind of talk about that as we go. But I hope that you enjoy it, and then let me know what you think. So we're gonna make our 2 chaffle sandwich desserts. And I'm actually in this going to be testing out a new griddle. I've used my Dash quite regularly, the little Dash griddle, but I really wanted to get a second one so that I can do 2 at a time. I had purchased another Dash from Amazon, gosh, a while back, and it just did not heat up like it should have. So I ended up just getting rid of that one or sending it back. I can't remember. And then I was at Walmart the other day and found this My Mini by Nostalgia. So this will be the first time that we have tried this out. So this is the box, and it's warming up now. So while those are warming up, I'm going to go ahead and get started on first our filling. So we're going to make a cream cheese filling, and all this is 8 ounces of room temperature cream cheese. It is about a half a cup of Swerve confection, and I need to add some vanilla to that. I forgot to pre-measure out my vanilla, so I'm going to just add, let's see, a capful of vanilla is what I'm going to add. It calls for 1/4 for the recipe, but this recipe, actually I'm going to add even a little bit more than that, because that's probably about a 1/2 teaspoon. So I'm probably just going to go ahead and do a full. And that's going to finish up my vanilla. And the reason why is I'm actually using the recipe from Serious Keto. And in Serious Keto, for his recipe, he has 2 ounces cream cheese to 2 tablespoons of Swerve confection. So I'm trying to make a full bar's worth, because I'm going to make several dessert sandwiches. And don't you love when things just come right out of your bowl? So this cheese has been out overnight, so it is mixing super easy. So I'm just going to be able to mix this right up with my fork. And that's it. We're gonna set this aside, and it's gonna be ready for us when we're ready to make our chaffle sandwiches. So there we go. All right, the first one we're gonna make is actually gonna be our blueberry chaffles. And this recipe is actually one that I'm adapting slightly from Serious Keto as well. In fact, I think all the recipes today are Serious Keto. I think, anyway. So it says to add egg and softened cream cheese together. So I am going to double this recipe. So I have 4 ounces of softened cream cheese, and I actually cheated and softened this in the microwave because I forgot to set out enough to do both my filling and my chaffle. So I softened this in the microwave, and so I'm going to just kind of cream this really well. And then to this, I'm going to add 2 eggs. And if you haven't tried farm fresh eggs, then you should, because farm fresh eggs are just phenomenal. And I would have never believed it. I was never one of these people that thought you had to do farm fresh eggs until we did. And now it is definitely something that I will never, as long as we have a supplier, that sounds terribly funny, but as long as we have a supplier, I will always use farm fresh eggs. They're more flavorful, they're bigger, they have more nutrients, they're richer in color, they're just, I can't say enough about them. They're absolutely amazing. So it says to whisk this together. So I'm gonna just keep whisking and whisking and whisking. In fact, let me see how. Okay, clean hands are sometimes your best tool. So I'm gonna get this fork cleaned off, and I'm gonna use this little plunger whisk thing that BJ got for me. And just see how that does. So let's see. Okay, that's pretty awesome. That really gets in there and breaks up that cream cheese. Okay, that's amazing. I think that this probably was an idea that we got from Serious Keto, and BJ probably bought me one. So thanks, Steve from Serious Keto, because I absolutely adore this. Okay, so to this, we're going to add, this is the cream cheese and the egg. To this, we're going to add sweetener, coconut flour, and baking powder. So I am again, I'm doubling this recipe. So I am using 2 tablespoons of sweetener. He recommends Boca Sweet. This is, I believe this is whole earth, and it's a combination of erythritol and monk fruit. I'm gonna add coconut flour. I have here 2 tablespoons of coconut flour. Again, I'm doubling this recipe. And then baking powder, I'm adding a half teaspoon of baking powder. And I am gonna mix this in, but I'm gonna then add some vanilla flavoring to this, because in the recipe from this is here, yeah, Serious Keto, he says to add blueberry powder and sweet dough extract. I don't have either of those things, but I have some fresh blueberries that I have to use up. So I'm gonna just be adding some vanilla to this. So I added about a half teaspoon of vanilla. I'm gonna mix that all up, and then if I have done my math correctly, this should get us 4 blueberry chaffles. 4 or more. So, yep, there you go. I'm gonna pour this right into our mini waffle makers. And I always overfill, so let's cross our fingers that this is gonna work. So I've got the Dash and the My Mini, and I'm going to pour what I hope is going to be just enough into each. And of course, I forgot that I have to add blueberries, so we're gonna see how that goes. And then I'm gonna add a handful of fresh blueberries in each one. All right, let's see how we go. All right, I'll meet you back here after they're done. Okay, it has been about 5 minutes. My Dash Mini has stopped steaming. So I am gonna go ahead and see how that one's doing and see if we need to get that one off. Let's see. All right, so Dash Mini, that looks good. We're gonna go ahead and get this one off. And then, oh yeah, hot, but it looks great. We're gonna put that on a rack to cool, and that looks beautiful. Let's see what the My Mini is doing. I can already tell it's stuck to the top. So that's, ooh, hot. I'm not in love with how it's stuck. Yes, so this blueberry waffle has stuck hugely to the Mini. nostalgia. So let's see what I can do with this. Maybe I put too many blueberries in one spot. Not sure. I also did not spray these with any kind of a cooking spray because they are supposed to be nonstick, so I didn't spray these. So, not sure if that was a good idea or not, but we will see. There's a little bit of a difference in size there. I found that a little bit interesting. And all right, let me grab a little bit of cooking spray before I lay the next batch on these. All right, so batch number 2. Again, cross your fingers that I am going to have the sizing right on this. And it looks like I'm going to get more than 4 as well. So, yeah, there's that. I hope I don't make a mess with that one. All right, let's see how this goes. All right, it has been between 5 and 6 minutes, and we're still producing a good-ish amount of steam here, but I can smell, it smells almost like a popcorny smell. So I'm not sure if that's because of my cooking oil or what it is. So I'm gonna go ahead and see. Yeah, I think that this one is done. I'm gonna pop that one off. Oh yeah, there you go, that's the difference. I was wondering why one was so much prettier, and it's just because of how I laid them out. And then let's see how the My Mini did for this one. Let's see here. Cross your fingers. Oh, it's stuck again. Let's see. It is coming off easier this time. I have a feeling that had I started with a clean surface instead of just spray that surface, it would be fine, but I didn't want to cool this off and like do a full wash and start over for the video. So I'm just going to take it for what it is. Let's see if I can get this little area off here. All right, so there we have that. All right, and then we have roughly, I think I'm gonna be able to get 2 full ones left. So let's see. I am not gonna respray this My Mini. I'm not loving that popcorny smell. So I'm not gonna respray. But blueberries are my favorite. When Jackson was little, he used to call them M&Ms. So I always think of that whenever I'm using blueberries. Of course, now he doesn't seem to care for them, but he's going to be a good sport and be willing to try this for this recipe. All right, cross your fingers. I think I'm going to make a mess with this last batch. All right, be right back. Okay, it has been about 5 minutes. We're still steaming a little bit. I'm going to give that just a few more minutes. And while I'm waiting for that, I'm going to wet 2 paper towels to start with the cleanup process on our waffle makers. This is a hack. I saw it online, but I can't take credit for it. It's not a hack that I came up with, but I can't remember where it came from. So basically what I'm going to do is when I pull the 2 chaffles off, I'm going to place these wet paper towels on there, close them, unplug and let the paper towels kind of steam there. And then I'm gonna clean them all up before we start our chocolates. So let's see how we do. All right, I find it very interesting that the chaffle stuck to my dash. I have never ever had a chaffle stick on my dash. So I find that interesting. So it may be something with the blueberries. So I'm going to give the mini another chance on that. And this time we did not stick on the mini. So that's interesting. So yeah, let me see if I can get this last little hunk right here off, and I will close this up over the wet paper towel, and then we will clean up and start with our chocolates. So, and as you can see how that's steaming over that steam is what's going to make it clean up so much easier. So I'll clean all this back up and meet you back here, and we'll get started on the chocolate. Okay, welcome back. So I got everything all cleaned up from our blueberry chaffles, and I have to say that took a good-ish amount of elbow grease to get the blueberry off of my mini. This cleaned up pretty easily, but I had to really get in and scrub on this one to get all those blueberries off. But for now, we're gonna go ahead and go towards, we're gonna make some chocolate waffle sandwich or chocolate chaffle sandwiches. So let me grab my tools here. So this recipe is courtesy of Steve at Series Keto yet again, and I have again doubled this recipe. So we're going to put in here, I doubled it, so we have 2 large eggs. And again, farm fresh, the way to go. Look at how bright and beautiful those eggs are. I'm gonna give these just a quick little whisk. All right, and then I'm gonna add to this dark cocoa powder. I'm gonna add 4 tablespoons. And actually this is not dark cocoa powder. This is just regular cocoa powder because this is what I had in my pantry. I'm gonna add some granulated sweetener. This is the monk fruit and erythritol blend. And I'm adding 4 tablespoons there. I'm adding a half a teaspoon of baking powder. I'm adding some vanilla extract. This is roughly about a teaspoon. And then I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons of heavy whipping cream. And I'm gonna make basically Oreo sandwiches out of this. So yum, yum, yum. Or whoopie pies is another thing that you can consider this. Make sure you get all of that all mixed in there. That looks amazing. I love chocolate. All right. And then, again, I have never had issues with anything sticking with my dash, but I'm not sure if it was the blueberries or what it was. So just to give this a good fair comparison, I am not gonna spray the dash or the My Mini. I hope I'm not gonna regret that, but I'm not gonna spray either one of them for this recipe. I've never had to spray my dash before, so I wouldn't think I should have to spray it for this. And then I'm gonna just wait and see what the My Mini did. So let's get ready to cook. All right, so here we go. We're gonna go ahead and get our chocolate chaffle mix here. And I would hope that since I was able to successfully make chaffles without a huge mess with blueberries, that I should be able to do it as well with the chocolate. Here's to hoping. I will say the well on the My Mini is a little bit more forgiving. So I find that interesting. And all right, let's see how we go. I wish you could smell this. It smells like just a chocolate haven in here. It is absolutely amazing. I am noticing that my dash has stopped steaming. My Mini is still steaming. It's been on there for about 5 minutes, so we're gonna wait and see, and cross your fingers that we haven't stuck. Okay, that looks amazing. I could have actually added just a little bit more to that particular chaffle. All right, let's see. I'm concerned. Okay, that is gorgeous, and it is done. So it does steam. I like to wait until the steam is done, but that is absolutely gorgeous, that chaffle. And my Mini is actually much more forgiving for overfilling. So that's a major plus there. And since I've never had anything stick with my dash, and the blueberries finally did stick, then I feel like that maybe just the wetness of the blueberries and the skin of the blueberries on here was what caused the sticking. But we're gonna go ahead and start with our second batch. So let's get going. I hope that I'm not gonna make a mess. I am so concerned of always overfilling. Again, the well on the My Mini is much more forgiving. It has higher sides, so as it puffs up, it's gonna help catch that and go into the other side with it. So that's a major plus here for the My Mini. So yeah, we're gonna see. I hear a sizzle here, so I'm afraid I might be getting ready to run over. Yep, there it goes. Never fails. I have the worst luck of having the stuff run over on the dash. So, and it's not doing that on the My Mini. So, yeah, that's definitely something to take into consideration for my final work. So that mess wasn't quite as bad as I thought it was going to be. Again, it's been about 5 minutes, and I've noticed that this time there's no steam on either. So, it may have just been some residual steam from when I cleaned. Oop, chaffle overboard. Okay, and now we're gonna go ahead and fill back up again. I doubled this recipe, so this should be enough for 4 chaffles, but I'm gonna get at least 6 chaffles out of this. Maybe 7. I'm not sure that I'll get 8. All right, and here we go. Meet you back here in just a few. All right, it's been about 5 minutes. We're gonna go ahead and get these off of the chaffle makers. And again, this is not sticking at all. So right back to previous, and I think I might have enough for one more. Let's see. Not a complete one. Let me scrape out all of that goodness in there. Good to the last drop. All right, we'll let that one finish. I'm gonna put a wet paper towel in here and then meet you back here in just a bit. Right. We're gonna take this last one off. Well, not quite enough. This will be a nice little snack. It smells so good in here. Jackson says it smells like chocolate chip cookies. Got the wet paper towel here. And we're gonna let that steam away. And then the key is to let these cool completely. So I already have some over here cooling, and I'll meet you back and we'll frost them. Right, so I've already frosted a couple of these. You do need to let them cool down completely. These are still cooling. If you put the cream cheese frosting on while they're too warm, the frosting will actually kind of just melt down. But these are cooled completely. You can really see the difference here on the sizes of the 2 different waffle makers. So this is the dash. This is the My Mini by Nostalgia. So, yep, obvious difference there. But you know what? They're going to taste amazing either way. You want to put a generous amount of your cream cheese filling in there. The last batch of something similar to these that I made, Jackson said I did not add enough frosting, so I do not want to make that mistake again. And there's that one. This one's good and cool. So a good amount of that delicious cream cheese filling. And I like to have it a little bit thicker on the center, and that way when I put the top on it and kind of push down, it all goes out to the end. So I'm going to go ahead and let these last ones cool. Yeah, these two need to cool a little bit more. And then we'll finish these up, and then I'll meet you back here for a taste test. All right, so our finished product was pretty good. These are the finished Oreo sandwiches, and then the finished blueberry sandwiches. And we're going to taste test these for you now. As far as what they look like on the inside, there's the blueberry, and there is the chocolate sandwich. And we're going to taste test these right now. So BJ and Jackson are in the background. They do not want to be on camera, but they're going to be fun to taste test. And which one are y'all going to go for first? Blueberry? All right, so we're going to try the blueberry. That's pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah. That's really, really good. I'm shocked at how good that is. What do y'all think?
Really good.
Yeah. The blueberry is really good.
Looks really good.
The chocolate has got a good chocolate flavor.
Yeah, this will go very well with that icing.
You don't like it with the icing?
Not that icing, no. It'll go better with the stuff that was on the
This is pretty much the same stuff.
This tastes a little bit off.
Yeah. What do you think of the shape part?
Good.
All right. So I'm going to rate these. So we do 1 to 5 for taste and 1 to 5 for ease of recipe. I will say both of these recipes were super easy. I would give them a 5. Did you hand me my scale over there? On the notebook over there. So I can remember what our stuff is. But as far as ease of recipe, literally anyone can do it. So 1 is it requires a degree in chemical engineering. 2 is it's doable. 3 is 4, one of those caveman folks could do it. 5, literally anyone can do it. So I would give this recipe a 5. So as far as for taste, number 1, it would be I'd rather starve. 2, I would eat it in a pinch is edible. 3, decent keto substitute, I'll eat it again. 4, almost as good as the real thing. And 5, I would eat it even as if it wasn't keto. So, what do you guys think as far as taste?
4.
4, almost as good as the real thing. For both of them?
Yeah.
Say for both. So I would say 4 for the chocolate one. I would say 5 for the blueberry one. I love that blueberry one. It was delicious. So I will say we're going to give this recipe a 9.5 out of 10. So yeah, pretty good. So, and as far as the Nostalgia mini waffle maker, it did stick with the blueberries, but as you saw, the Dash did on the last set. It did not stick with anything else, and this one, I'm actually going to say I like my mini waffle maker a little bit better than the Dash. I may even get a second one of these, so I can cook with both of these when I'm making my batch, because the way this one was designed, it didn't allow for stuff to spill out as much. So I like this one. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to click like and subscribe to check out some of our other videos. And let us hear from you. Please put some comments down below of some recipes you'd like us to try. Thanks again.